Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Super Sanctum podcast. I am your host, Malachi Daly. My co host, Jeremiah, is not here today. You know, if you've been here for a minute, you guys know he did recently move, uh, but he also started a new job in that move. So, life is lifing right now. So, for this episode, Jeremiah will not be here. We've got another solo episode, just you and me today. Well, to start off, I would like to again shout out our social media accounts. The Super Sanctum Podcast on everything from Instagram to TikTok, Twitter. We're on it. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment down below things you want me to talk about if we do another solo, or things you would like me and Jeremiah to talk about, maybe debate upon. My God, just things like that. So, if you could please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. So, first things first, on today's episode, we do have the GTA 6 trailer. So, now, this trailer, it looked amazing. Oh my God. Now, if you follow us on TikTok, you would have seen that I did do a reaction of the trailer already. So, if you're not following us on TikTok, go ahead right now and just pull up your phone real quick. If you're not watching this on your phone, or watching this on your phone, give us a pause. Follow us on TikTok. Link will be in the description. Uh, so give us a follow there, because we did in fact post my reaction of the GTA 6 trailer, and golly, it looked amazing. My God, I can't wait. Just like I've been recently playing GTA 5 again, haven't played it in a while. Recently, in the last couple of days, I played it a little bit, and I've been having a grand old time playing, to be honest. And just seeing the like new stuff they've been implementing, like I heard like recently they just put animals in the GTA 5. I mean, like I know they had them in story, but now it's like online. Like there's whales and stuff. We saw whales like a submarine. Like that was super cool. So to see the stuff that they're gonna add in GTA 6 just for online strictly or even campaign, game's gonna be mental. It's gonna be crazy, guys. So everyone be prepared. 1 year. We got this. Everyone's gotta lock in. Alright. So moving on, that was really like the only video game thing we've got here. So now is more of the superhero things for the rest of the pod. Okay, first and foremost, um, I'm probably gonna butcher this last name here, but Tony Revolori, I believe, is his last name. But he was the man who has played Flash Thompson in Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, and he is apparently said that he wants his Flash Thompson to become Agent Venom. Now, see me, his character. I mean, I can see how in a story arc sense of way how his character could become Agent Venom, but he doesn't give me like Flash Thompson vibes from like Andrew Garfield's Flash Thompsons, or Toby's Flash Thompson, or even the one from Drake Bell's animated series where he's Spider-Man. Like I don't get the Flash Thompson vibe from him, where he's like the school bully. Even though I guess in Tom's, that's what he really wasn't. He was a bully, but strictly to Peter. But he was more the nerdy bully kind of guy. So it's like I could see how in an story arc way, how he could ultimately become Agent Venom, just because uh how, or I guess since now in No Way Home, no one knows that he's Spider Man. or no one even knows Peter, so I guess he wouldn't. So there's really no way now that he could even become Agent Venom unless some crazy thing happened where everyone finds out that Peter is Spider-Man. So there is that. But overall, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. Just because I don't think he's the right guy for an Agent Venom type beat. You know what I mean? It's just not it for him. Okay, so Tony, I'm sorry, but no. Love you though. Love to have you on the pod. I forgot. I loved you in the Grand Budapest. Great movie. You were good in that. Would love to see you on the pod, Tony. Okay, moving on. We do have some more Spider-Man New Day news. Keeping on with the Spider-Man trend right here, real quick. So we do have Spider-Man New Day. Apparently, we have villains set up already. We have Scorpion, Tombstone, and Boomerang. Mind you, I'm not gonna lie. Boomerang, never heard of him. As a Spider-Man villain, I'm not gonna lie. Never heard of the guy. Scorpion and Tombstone, heard of them. And we do already have the Tombstone set up for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the animated Disney Plus show. We've already got that set up for the next season. So that I'm excited to see. I'm also excited to see Tombstone and New Day. See how, they portray him, how they CGI him up. See how that looks. Scorpion, I think Scorpion's gonna be cool. Hopefully the suit looks cooler from what I remember the TASM one looked like. I remember the TASM one. I believe it looked a little weird, looked kind of off. I wasn't liking it too much from when you could see it in the background of Oscorp. I wasn't liking it too much, so hopefully we get like a possibly a bit more of a comic accurate, kind of thing, maybe. Who knows? But that's what I'm hoping for. And then so with the GTA 5 or 6 delay, there was another delay. We did get the Avengers Doomsday delay, sadly. And so the Avengers Doomsday delay, I believe, is pushed back to December 18th of 2026, which is a interesting play to the Disney and Marvel crew because Marvel movies usually come out summertime. I believe this is going to be like the first like Marvel movie to come out in the Christmas, like during Christmas time. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. And then it's Doomsday, so it'll be pretty cool. And then with Doomsday, we do have a little bit of Doomsday news here. Um, so Doomsday, we do know that, Sam Wilson is going to have his own Avengers team. He's going to build his own team. He's the new Cap. He's going to build his own team. And I heard some news potentially of who is going to be on his team. So we have Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon, uh Miss Marvel. I like that Miss Marvel. I love Kamala Khan. She's one of my favorite characters in the DC, or sorry, oh my God, did I say the DC universe? In the MCU. But yeah, Kamala Khan, she's one of my favorites. We got a little like glimpse, not of her, but of her father in Daredevil Born Again in the bank episode. So that was really cool. And then, Kamala's just every superhero nerd put into one when you become a superhero. It's just everyone who loves superheroes and wants to have superpowers. My favorite superhero doesn't look like it from everything I've got behind me, but my favorite superhero is the Flash. I want to be a speedster so bad. And it's like, you become you become a superhero, start meeting all the heroes, like how she met Captain Marvel, you just start geeking out the whole time. That's everyone. That's like the most relatable. I've ever felt to a character before, and it's Kamala, and I love her for it. Because who doesn't want to just sit there and nerd out? But yeah, so Kamala, Bruce Banner, Wong, and Shang-Chi are reportedly going to be on Sam Wilson's team. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So if that's his team that we see in New or in Doomsday, I'm excited. I'm very, very, very excited. And then in some sad MCU news, Jeremy Renner will not be returning for a season 2 of Hawkeye. And I mean, we don't know the numbers, but it's even it. I mean, we don't know the official numbers, but it doesn't sound good because Jeremy Renner he's turning down the Hawkeye season 2 because Disney wanted to pay him half of what he was paid in season 1, and that could be potentially he's not in as many episodes, or they take him out so that Kate Bishop, Haley Stein, or Seinfeld's character could, so she can come up more and rock out with everyone. Because I think she's gonna be on Sam Wilson's team. It makes the most sense to me. Um, but if she's gonna be on a team, it's, it's most likely it will in fact be Sam, the new Captain America. Which reminds me, I need to watch Brave New World again. I'm gonna watch that tonight. But okay, so you know, Jeremy Renner. I want him to take it because I want to see him again as Hawkeye. I love him as Hawkeye. Not as Ronin. The hair was not fucking with it. Nuh-uh, 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 no. Was not fucking with the Ronin hair whatsoever. Whoever designed that, fire them. They gotta be gone. Okay. Oh, I did forget this. So in some more recent Marvel Avengers Doomsday news, Alan Cumming, the man who plays Nightcrawler in the original X-Men movies, was in an interview recently saying that he was on set every day fighting a new person, and at one point he was putting Pedro Pascal's head into a wall. Sir, I don't think you're supposed to be saying that. Like, you know, I mean, like out of context, it sounds bad, but you're not supposed to be spoiling that an X-Men character is putting a Fantastic Four character head through a wall. That's like mega spoilery. Because one, I believe it could be like a first encounter thing, and Reed sets off Nightcrawler and just kind of starts a little brawl, maybe, who knows, or you know, something bad happens where it sets off a brawl between maybe the X-Men and the Four. But we'll have to see. But big, big, big spoiler, dude. Like, come on now. Okay. And real quick, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Please, please, please like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, and then in some more recent, not so recent, we did get the new trailer for Ironheart. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot this show was even coming out, and I kind of forgot Ironheart was a character that was gonna be a thing. Uh, which is crazy because I love Wakanda Forever. Great movie. I cried 3 times during the movie, watching it in theaters for the first time. Beginning, the middle, and credit scene. 3 times. Okay? It is what it is. Just thinking about it's kind of tearing me up. Just kidding. But yeah, we're it's just ooh, excuse me. I think Marvel's going kind of crazy. Okay. I think just the next 5 years of Marvel is gonna be kind of nuts. Okay. Because I think once we get past Secret Wars and once we get past Doomsday, it's just gonna be an uphill climb. Okay. Because Thunderbolts was amazing. Okay. Just saying. I loved it. Before we get to the review, Thunderbolts was amazing. Fantastic Four First Steps comes out or next in the Marvel lineup, and I'm excited for it. The trailers we've gotten for that look pretty good. Fantastic Four is awesome. Like, I mean, I believe I've talked about it a little already. Maybe not. But Joseph Quinn, I've warmed up to him now. Just kind of in trailer form and just seeing him, you know, be Johnny a little bit. I've warmed up to him a little bit, so I'm not too standoffish with him now when seeing him in theaters. So I'm ready for. I am ready to see him. But okay. Oh, back to Ironheart real quick. The Ironheart trailer looked pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna watch the show. I am gonna get clips off of it, put it on TikTok, and you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on TikTok if you want to see that content. But we'll be doing other shows and other things too. But with Ironheart, I mean, I'm I I'm not too excited, but I'm excited because it's another Marvel product to watch. So I'm excited for that. But now let's get into the nitty gritty. Thunderbolts. 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 Or should I say, the new Avengers. So, before we get into the new Avengers, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts. Okay. So, uh, for Thunderbolts, my official review, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 for the podcast. 8 out of 10. It wasn't like the greatest movie, but it was astounding. It was an amazing movie. I really, really liked it. And I'm excited for more. I want to see Elena, Red Guardian, more Bucky, obviously. I want to see more Walker and Ghost. I'm ready for him. And Bob. I want to see some Bob. Okay. But let's get into it. So, the movie did come out during Mental Health Awareness Month. And of course, during Mental Health Awareness Month, we got to be aware of our mental health. So be aware. I'm telling you right now, be aware. I'm aware. Are you? Now you are, because I just told you. I got you. I got you. Same. The movie came out mental health awareness month, and it was very much so a mental health awareness kind of movie. Um, it did have a very dark tone to it, but it also had a nice bright uh warm home feeling to it also. But let's start from the beginning. So the opening scene starts with Yelena jumping off, parachuting down a building. If you haven't seen already, that was all practical stunts. No CGI. Well, I mean, there was CGI for like the parachuting scene. Pretty sure she didn't do that because she was like harnessed up from the top of the building to the bottom. And she did just like jump off and fall to the bottom at a kind of at a slower pace than a normal person would fall from that height. So, it was a controlled fall. But it was practical stunts. And I think one, for her doing it herself and not using a stunt double for it, amazing. Just amazing. Like, just showing she's showing she wants it. Like this was her movie too. Like Elena was the main character of this movie. It just showed like, yeah, she's putting the work into this movie. Like Elena one is also now one of my favorite characters. I mean, she has been since Black Widow, the movie. But she's an overall just great character. And and just her doing her own practical stunts for the movie is just makes me like her even more. Yeah. Okay. So overall, the first hour 25, hour and a half was fairly good. The last 30 like was a little weird, but uh it it was just a little weird, except for like obviously the very end credit scenes. Like the two end credit scenes made it good. But it's like the last 30 minutes was a little weird, but I also loved it. Okay. I did also love it. It wasn't well, like it was weird, but not in like a weird bad way, in a weird good way. Because it showed a lot more of the mental health stuff that coincided with the movie. Um, um let's start off with something else that I one the one like one thing I really didn't like the movie was there wasn't enough there wasn't enough Sentry backstory. There wasn't enough Bob backstory. I need a bit more Bob backstory. Like I think we could have gotten an extra like 15 to 20 minutes of the movie of just like not even or like just 10 minutes of the movie really. We could have got an extra 10 minutes of just Bob backstory real quick. Of just like where he's from, how when he was doing meth and cooking up, and then when he was high doing dressed as a chicken, swinging the signs and stuff, as we saw in the movie. Just like more, we just need more background so that we could connect better with Bob as a character throughout the movie. So yeah, like if we just gotten like 10 more minutes of backstory for him, I think it would have been fine. But overall, let's go with the Red Guardian next. Red Guardian, funniest character by far in the whole movie, funniest character. Okay, practically never like there's maybe one or two dull moments with him, but intentional. You know, throughout the entirety of the movie, he's the funniest, the most upbeat. There is the one scene where Yelena is just not about it anymore. And she's just like, she's over it. She just wants to go home. She's tired of trying to do this and doesn't really want to be a hero anymore and like doesn't want her hero spotlight. And she just kind of, she's done. And then Alexei comes in and he's like, and he just give her the dad speech and was like, yeah, you can't give up. You're the leader of this team. It's like, we need you so that we can defeat the Void and Sentry and all that. So It's just more reasons why we love him from the Black Widow movie. Okay. Let me see here where we're at. Red Guardian. As because with him giving the speech, it shows how much he really cares for Elena. Like he truly is her father. I've always said anyone can be a a father, but it takes a lot to be. It takes more to be a dad, and so he's showing that he even though it's been a year and he's been in his own dump, like he's like I'm still your dad and I love you and I care for you with all my heart, and we love to see that, and it just shows how good the relationship is going to be going forward, and it's all greatness and we love it. One of my favorite scenes, okay, is when everyone is entering the illegal or like the black site bunker that is run by what is her name? I don't have her name written down, I think. Valentina, the Black Ops site that's run by Valentina, where she is getting everyone to go and kill themselves or kill each other really, so she can get rid of all her loose ends. Which, if you watch the movie, of course, didn't end well for Valentina because they all escaped. But that was one of my favorite parts was one, Taskmaster dying. Everyone knew she was gonna die. But it was funny that when she died, immediately Walker and Ghost are looting her body, and then, you know, push comes to shove. Turns out they all need to work together to escape Valentina's little prison that she's made for them. You know, push came to shove, they all had to work together to get out of that little prison thing that was going to incinerate them alive, destroy and kill them, burn them out to a crisp. But who else was with them? Bob, the Sentry, one of the loose ends. But it turns out he wasn't such a loose end. He was the working byproduct, or the working, non-working byproduct of Valentina's own uh super soldier serum creation, because that's what everyone's doing. Everyone from Hydra to her is making their own super soldier serum, and it worked on Bob. But because he's got so much mental baggage, he doesn't just become the Sentry, he also becomes the Void. So, good guy and a bad guy I rolled into one. Not even an anti hero. So, Bob's got some shit on his plate, as we all saw. But one of my favorite parts from the entire movie was Bucky's entrance. Bucky's main entrance back into, like, where he captures the Thunderbolts. But, Alexei comes, rescues them from, or not rescues really, but he rescues them from a long, long ass walk in the desert. Rescues them from a long ass walk after escaping the incinerator with Bob. And then Bucky comes up, saves them real quick from Valentina's bad boys, and then ends up working with the group, with the gang, to then stop Valentina from doing more of her evilry. So yeah. But that was one of my favorite parts. And it's also now, as of recording, it's now a new skin in Marvel Rivals for Bucky Winter Soldier. He's now has the Marvel Rivals skin for Thunderbolts and the what is it? The MVP animation where it is him blowing up the truck, grabbing the chain, putting it into the ground, looking behind his shoulder, aura farming to the max. That is all Bucky is. Aura, aura, aura. It's all Bucky spews is aura. Okay. But it really like that whole scene really felt like we got Bucky back. We got the Winter Soldier back a little bit. Because, him being Congressman Bucky Barnes, whatever, Congressman Barnes. He's not, it's not as cool as being Winter Soldier. And now, we got to see him blow up a couple of trucks and shit and do some badassery. And now it's like he's the Winter Soldier again. It's like he's our Bucky. Thank you, Marvel. Okay. We're gonna move on, skip a few things. I'm not going through the entirety of the fucking movie, of course. Uh, so moving on, we're gonna go to the like we're gonna skip a lot of the movie. The main fight scene, really towards the end. Um, you know, with Valentina and Mel, who Mel, Miss Genevieve, or sorry, Gwendolyn. No, oh my God, cut this. But yeah, so we have the last fight, Century and the gang, the Thunderbolts. In that fight, we really got to see how strong Century is and how fucking insane he is. Because he's just Superman mixed with fucking like Magneto and just a destroyer. Okay. Century versus Omni Man, Century. Century all the way. Okay. But I did not like the hair. Okay. When they pulled out the new suit, loved the suit. I loved how great he looked, comic accurate. It was cool. It was awesome. But was forget his name, but Mr. Pullman, the man who plays Bob slash Century slash Void, him with the dyed blonde wasn't fucking with it. And I mean he wasn't either, which I loved to hear him say. He's like, he wasn't liking it. I wasn't liking it. Let's not do it. Thought it looked weird. Okay. Didn't look like Bob no more, which I guess is what they were going for. But whatever. But yeah, so we've got that main fight, just them fighting him was crazy because we got to see him use all of his powers. He was flying, super speed, super strength, heat vision, telekinesis. Like when he grabbed Red Guardian, threw him through the window, and then like held him out there, pulled him back in. That was badass. When he used his super speed, badass. When he was just throwing like furniture around at him, badass. Sentry overall, badass. Just scary though because of all the mental health issues. He turns into the void. Now the void thing, I was very interested because I was like, okay, we have this like every hero team level threat practically because it just looks like he's going around going and everyone's dying, but they're really not. They're going into a like physical, psychological hellscape of just their own emotional damage and their own emotional baggage, which I thought was, I guess, better than just Void going around and just doom, 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 wiping everyone out just one by one. I mean, it is what it is, but it's funny a little bit. Uh, Not the killing part, but it's funny that he wasn't. killing them, that he was just putting them into this weird hellscape kind of plane. Um, I did almost cry in this movie when Yelena walked into the darkness, into the blackness of the void, and she disappeared and went into her own little thing. I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little bit because one, I thought she was dead, and then seeing Alexei cry and try to stop her from doing it, and then them holding him back from him going into it was kind of nuts. No, it was a sad moment because I was just because the father who was finally trying to become and be the father for her lost his daughter, and it's like he already lost one. Like fuck, he's about to lose the other one. Like that's if it was crazy, and I wanted to cry, but she wasn't dead, so I didn't. But yeah, just seeing everyone go through their own little thing, because Yelena's got just being a widow. That's crazy. Walker has got his thing of trying to become the next Captain America, and then bashing in that dude's head in broad daylight. You know, that was crazy. And Falcon and Winter Soldier, that was nuts. But then from that, he lost his wife and his kid. So there's that. And then Ghost just being who she is, and with her curse, I guess you could say, her ability where she might phase out of fucking existence is nuts. And yeah, and then, Alexi just not being like the hero, the man, the father he wants to be. Just a lot of deep sadness. Um, and then Bob with just like abusive parents and an abusive family. It was a lot of saddening stuff, which, was the dark tone of the movie, but I think it was good. It made you it really made you feel. Really made you feel. And it was a different type of feel than like when we saw Tony die in Endgame and all of that. It was a different type of feel. Ooh. Okay. So we do, and so after that, uh, they do end up beating the void, and that's when they go into Bob's hellscape, into his thing, his void, and they end up going through his evil dark rooms and then finding the void, like I believe probably where he was born, or like where the century slash void was born, in that laboratory. And we got to see him in that, and then it was just Bob just beating the shit out of the void. And then, they were like, no, you can't do that because then he's gonna win. We got you, we love you, we your homies now, we are your home. You don't need to do this, we got you. We got you. And that's why we love the Thunderbolts. And that's why we love Yelena. Okay? She's the team leader we always knew we needed. She's the team leader we deserve. Okay? Yelena. Goaded. Yep. And then so, there's that. And then of course after, they get him back to Bob and he's no longer the void. They've won that mission. They've won that battle. The war is not over yet though. Okay. The war is not over yet for them because one, they still have to do with or deal with Valentina. One thing, Valentina is always one step ahead, weirdly enough. Kind of like one step ahead, one step behind kind of thing. But she was definitely one step ahead at the end of this movie because she straight up lured them into a weirdly set up, chaotic press conference in the middle of the aftermath of Void to have a press conference about how she is making them the new Avengers. But because Bob is alive and they know, and obviously they can put the whole thing of Void doing what he did and pin that to her, and they also have Mel, you know, who Songbird, which kind of makes sense why she's was or is gonna become Songbird because that bitch was singing. Bitch was singing. The bitch was singing to Bucky. She was singing. Okay. She was singing. She told Bucky everything, so they got all the details. Valentina's going down. And the Elena aura farming here again when she went, "We own you now." She's like, "We own you, Valentina. You ain't got shit on us. We got all the shit and dirt on you. So you're just gonna fund everything for us and we gonna do our thing. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye. See ya." She really gave me Dolores Umbridge vibes from Harry Potter. She gave me those kind of vibes. But overall, Thunderbolts 8 out of 10. Dun dun dun. Just kidding. We still got more Thunderbolts to talk about. Okay, two end credit scenes. One, we've got the new one where it is Alexi in a store talking about Wheaties. He's in the cereal aisle with the Wheaties boxes, and they all have the Thunderbolts on them. Okay, the Thunderbolts on. Amazing. It's his dream. He's always wanted to be on a Wheaties box. Now he is. Good job, Alexi. Good job, Alexi. Got to do his dream. Okay. So, with all of that, you know, that was just one end credit scene. This is a little funny, haha scene, okay? And the second end credit scene, we got some juice. We got some sauce. Some juicy sauce in that one. In the second end credit scene, we got one. The Thunderbolts are no longer called the Thunderbolts. They are the new Avengers. But the new Avengers is already, or the Avengers is already copyrighted by Sam Wilson and his team. So we now have the new Avengers with a Z at the end. So we got the Avengers and the Avengers. And what I want to know down in the comments, please, 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 down in the comments, type and let me know in a battle with who I gave you guys earlier. I'll list them off again. Sam Wilson, Joaquin Torres, Miss Marvel, Bruce Banner, Wong, and Shang-Chi, Kate Bishop. Them versus the new Avengers with a Z. Who would win in a fight? Let me know down in the comments below. But that wasn't the best part, okay? That was just another little funny, ha ha ha. The new Avengers, okay? Technically got a Avengers movie before we got Doomsday, which is kind of funny. But the best part about that was four. The Fantastic Four ship made its way into the main MCU universe because we do know the Fantastic Four First Steps is set in its own standalone universe. So there's potential that in First Steps, because we do know that Thunderbolts is set post First Steps, I believe, that we are that there's a possibility that in First Steps we are going to see Galactus probably destroying their planet and their universe, and them potentially being the only ones to escape. And so, you know, they escape, and we know they went from universe to universe because it did say that their ship was extra dimensional, or not extra dimensional, but trans-dimensional. It can travel through dimensions and through universes. Okay. Reed Richards, he can do that stuff. He's a smart guy. But yeah, we got to see Fantastic Four. They're coming in. We saw their ship. The ship did look different. Instead of having the four prongs, it had three. So, I mean, we'll see. But 8 out of 10 for Thunderbolts. I'm excited to watch Fantastic Four First Steps. Now, this has been a great episode, guys. I'd like to thank you all again for being here this long in another solo episode. Thank you guys again. This is the Super Sanctum Podcast, and I'm Malachi Daly. We'll see you guys later. Peace.